Hi, Nemanja, hope you're okay. What is the feeling ahead of this game? Obviously, you're already through, you've won the group, but you've got a new manager to impress. What's the feeling amongst the players for this game?
Yeah, I think that you already give the answer for that. We have to try to impress the manager. We have to try to show that we deserve to play, and it's a great opportunity for everyone. We are true. We are at the top of the group, but we want to finish in the best possible way with the 3 points in front of our supporters at Old Trafford. And as I said, it's a great opportunity for us to show our qualities and to try to show the manager that we have quality to play and that we deserve to play, of course.
Ben Ransom.
Hi, Nemanja. What is the biggest impact that the man sat to your left has had since he's walked through the door?
Every manager has his ideas, of course, and we always try to adapt and to understand as soon as possible his ideas. I think that everyone saw a bit of his idea last game against Crystal Palace, of that high pressing, of that organization when we defend and when we attack, of course. So obviously we are training with him only a couple of days, and we didn't have enough time to understand more of this, but we could see in the last couple of days the way we want to play, and I'm sure in the future the team will play more in his way. And as I said, after a couple of days is very difficult, but I'm sure step by step everyone will see his ideas on the pitch, because as I said, we still have to understand everything what he wants from us.
James Samundra.
Nemanja, do you feel like the confidence is back amongst the squad, having strung together 4 really important results after a really challenging period before that?
Of course, when you win games is easier. The confidence is back, of course. I think that momentum is very important. We have to carry on. We have to go game by game, and I always like to say that the next game is the most important. So for me, tomorrow is another final. So we have to carry on. We have to know what we did well in the last couple of games, where we made mistakes, to improve that and to perform in the best possible way the next one.
Andy Mitten.
Hi, Nemanja. Can I ask you about Fred and Scott McTominay, 2 players who play in a similar positions to you? I know that they've looked up to you, you benefit from your experience. What's your relationship like with them? How do you see them both as players and how they're doing?
Yeah, I think that they are, first of all, great people for changing room, very important players for our team. They improve a lot game by game. They don't get enough prize, because always people who are scoring goals get prize after the games, but sooner or later they will get what they deserve, and I think that game by game they are better and better. They give us stability, so they have to just continue to work in this way, and I'm sure that they will have a bright future.
Okay, thank you, Nemanja. We'll now move on to the Monica.
Okay, thank you.
See you then. Thank you.
Thanks very
much. I will start with Simon Peach.
Hi, Ralph. Just wondering, can we expect a lot of changes tomorrow, perhaps all 11? And can you provide us with some injury updates? We saw Cavani, Varane, Shaw and Lingard training today.
Yeah, I haven't finally decided, to be honest, but I think it definitely makes sense that we will rest a few players due to the crowded fixture list over the next few weeks and months. We need to make sure that we have as much recovered players as possible, also for the Premier League. But on the other hand, of course, we need to keep the positive momentum. And our ethos is to win games, even if we maybe play with a few new players and fresh players. It's still important that we win the game. And by the way, the first game in this group, we lost at Young Boys, and so we still need to make up for that. And it's clear, no matter with which kind of players we will start tomorrow, we definitely want to win the game.
David McDonald.
Hi, Ralph. Just two questions, if I may. You talked about the intensity in the high pressing game, and I think on Sunday you said it was impossible to play at the level at which the players started. Is it fair to say then that the players, despite obviously being fit and top-class athletes, have to find an extra level of fitness to play at the level that you demand in terms of that high-intensity game?
Well, I mean, if I look back to the game against Crystal Palace, I don't think that we lacked energy in the second half. Obviously, the first half hour was almost perfect, I would say. It was impressive, the way that we pressed all over the pitch. Actually, I didn't expect the team to do that on this kind of level. And in the second half, it was not that high tempo intensity that we played in the first half, but still we controlled the game. So there was not much that we allowed them. We didn't give away any opportunities to Crystal Palace. So I don't see any physical issues. But of course, in order to play like that, it's important that you make sure that for every game that we are playing, and there are no easy games, not in the Premier League, not in the FA Cup, not in the Champions League. So we need to make sure that we are as fresh as possible.
Chris Wheeler.
Yes, hi Ralph. Your old friend Thomas Tuchel won this trophy last year after 4 months at Chelsea. Similar situation to Di Matteo in 2012. Were those seasons unique in their own way, or is something like that feasible with the squad that you have now?
Well, I think it's too early now, having been here only for a week now together with the team, having played one game. I think it's too early, but obviously with a club like Manchester United, we're ambitious to be as successful as we can be in all competitions, no matter in which one. And for me, it's important that we develop the team, that we continue the application of the defensive processes and fine-tune our collective defending. Right now, with playing every 3 days, it has to happen sort of in-game, and obviously also in talking to the players in video footage sessions. We did that before the Crystal Palace game, and we will also do that before the game tomorrow against Young Boys and our next fixture away at Norwich.
Paul Hurst.
Hey Ralph, is managing in the Champions League one of the reasons why you took this job? It's such a prestigious competition. Is it a good chance for you to test yourself again against the other best managers in the world?
Well, as you know, as a young student, I studied English at university, and I also already spoke about that in the first press conference. And since then, there has always been a special relationship and a special interest on my part regarding England and English football. And yes, when the offer or the proposal or the invitation came from Manchester United, for me it was a no-brainer. I had to accept that and to do that because it's, as I said, one of the biggest clubs in the world. A lot of good players here already, and being able to work with them now for 6 months is something that I couldn't possibly turn down.
Fred Caldera.
Hi, Ralph. I know that success is a concept very, very hard to define, especially in football. It depends on many contexts. But what would be a success for you this season at Man United?
For me, success can only be achieved with development, developing the team. This is the result of development. And if we can develop the team in the next 6 months in a way that I can see them play, and I think quite a few things could already be seen last Saturday, Sunday, knowing that it was only one game and the first game, but it showed how the team could defend if they work together as a team. And obviously there is still space for improvement. Not everything has been perfect in that game. We can still improve in possession of the ball. We can create more chances. We can be more flexible on the ball. We could play more vertical on the ball. But we spoke about that in the first press conference. If you look at the number of goals that we conceded until last Saturday, and I heard today that it was the first clean sheet at Old Trafford since April. 6 months, no clean sheet in your own stadium. This, for me, it was clear where the priorities should be and how we should develop the team in the next couple of weeks. But I'm fully aware that in order to be at the end successful, which means hopefully playing Champions League next season, being as successful as we can be in the Champions League and in the FA Cup. We didn't get an easy draw, to be honest, against Aston Villa. We played them 2 times within 1 week. It's one of 3 direct Premier League duels in the FA Cup. So there were a few easier draws possible, but in the end, it's like another Premier League game, and this is exactly how we will approach this game.
And Ransom?
Hi, Ralph. Could you bring us up to date on your coaching team and tell us your thinking behind any personnel that you are currently in the process of bringing in?
Yes, it won't be that many. So far, I'm very happy to work with the staff I have met last week, and they gave me a lot of help in the last couple of days in preparation of the Crystal Palace game. We have decided to bring in a sport psychologist with Sascha Lenze. He's from Germany. He's a former second division player. I have worked with him for 3 years. I used to work with him for 3 years at Leipzig. 1 year in the year that we won promotion from the second to the first division myself, and in the following 2 years when Ralf Hasenhüttl was head coach and Scholt Löw, the current assistant coach of Thomas Tuchel, was his assistant coach. So we know each other since then, he will be introduced to the team as soon as he's got his visa and work permit. So I very much hope that we will have him on board either tomorrow or at the latest on Thursday. And I will also have one other assistant coach with Chris Armas. Chris Armas used to be the assistant coach at the New York Red Bulls under Jesse Marsch. That was 5 years ago when I first met him. Since then, we have met quite frequently. Also in my role as head of global for Red Bull. In the last 3 years, 3.5 years, he was head coach, also head coach for the New York Red Bulls and for Toronto in the MLS. And he will again, hopefully, be able to join us in our team in the next 2 days.
Samuel Luckhurst?
Hi, Ralph. Dean Henderson and Donny van der Beek are 2 prominent international players who've fallen out of their international squads due to lack of playing time this season. What are your plans for those players, and would you be open to letting either of them go on loan in January?
Well, to start with, they will both play tomorrow. They will both play in the first 11. And as you saw, Donny came on as a sub last Sunday, and I know that Dean is a very, very good, ambitious goalkeeper. But we definitely need 2 goalkeepers. We have even 3 with Tom, and with Grant we have a 4th one. So we have 4 goalkeepers, but I would say we have the 3 goalkeepers who really come into recognition for the first team. And as I said, I have to get to know the players first in the next couple of weeks in order to finally assess them. Right now, I'm more than happy to have all of them on board, and I will try to give them as much game time as possible.
Simon Stone?
Hi, Ralph. Could you just go back to my colleague's question right at the start? Cavani and Varane in particular, are they able to play yet? And obviously they're 2 players of huge experience. How much do you think they can add to your squad when they are available?
Yeah, they both cannot play tomorrow, but they were part of the training session today. Eddie, even yesterday, For Rafa, it was the first time that he was on the pitch together with the team. And if everything goes well, I expect both of them back in full training next week. So hopefully Monday next week they will be participating in all training sessions. I mean, and obviously they are both top players. Of course, we would be happy to have them on board as soon as possible. But especially with Rafa and his injury record in the past, we need to make sure that we will have him until the end of the season. So it's also about sustainability and not only getting him fit as soon as possible. And yes, it would be great to have both players available as soon as possible. But as I said, if possible, for the rest of the season.
Neil Custis.
I know you've watched a lot of Man United from afar. Jesse Lingard's a player who's had an impact in the past and when he comes on as a substitute. Do you see him as someone who can have a future under you?
As I said, everybody has the chance to perform and present himself. That's why I'm happy to give game time to quite a few of those players tomorrow, to see them under pressure in a Champions League game in front of hopefully 75,000 in a sold-out stadium. So this is a perfect opportunity to get to know the players, like I did last Sunday against Palace with the others. We've only had a week of training so far, and with every impression, with every training session, with every opportunity to see them play in competitive games, I will get to know them better.
Bill Rice.
Hi Ralph, can you give us an update on Anthony Martial's condition? He doesn't seem to be training.
Yeah, Anthony trained with us on Saturday in the final training session before the Crystal Palace game, and half an hour after training, the doctor and the medical department informed me that he has some pain on his knee. We had a meeting together with the doctor, with the medical department and Anthony, and we agreed that he should try to recover from that. It's not a fresh injury, it's symptoms that he had in the past already. So we need to make sure that he is reducing the amount of pain in the next couple of days and hopefully have him back in training again next week.
Jamie Jackson.
Hi Ralph, you mentioned about, or you're introducing pressing, you mentioned you bring in a psychologist. I mean, how surprised are you that you have to bring this to a club of Manchester United status? Because surely both of these elements are kind of the very basic you need to have any chance of winning trophies.
Actually, I don't know what the situation is like in England, in other clubs. In Germany, in the last couple of years, most clubs have employed a sports psychologist or mental coach, whatever you would like to call them. For me, it is absolutely logical. I even had somebody like this Hans-Dieter Hamann, the current sports psychologist of the German national team, back in 1998 in Ulm. We were probably the first club in Germany who has ever employed a sports psychologist in him. For me, it's only a question of logic. I mean, if you have special coaches for goalkeeping, for physical education, for even for strikers, for whatever, for fitness, you also should have an expert for the brain, and not so much to put them on the red sofa and holding hands for the players, because most of them won't do that anyway. And for me, it's about helping the players that the brain should assist the body and not work against it, you know. So this is what it's about, that the players and even the coaching staff, everybody in our team should think in the right way, you know. And we all know that what it's about. Whenever we speak about football, we know that the major part is up here. So what do you think? How do you analyze the situation? And therefore, I'm very happy to have Sasha on board. As I said, he's a former second division player. He's hands-on. He is not sort of too much working in the theory. He's hands-on, and whenever he's part of every training session. And having worked together with him in Leipzig, I know that we could benefit a lot from him. It's also, as I said, about coaching the coaches. Of course, the coaches have to allow that. And for me, it's vital that on top level you should have the best possible person on this job.
Rob Dawson.
Hi, Ralph. How have you found the confidence levels of the players since you've been in? Because obviously it's been a difficult start to the season. Have you found that the confidence is something that you've had to repair since you've been, or have you found that they've kind of embraced the fresh start under you?
As Nemanja said, I mean, if you win games, it's the best way, the best tool to regain and gain confidence again. And in the last 4 games, the team won 3 of them and had 1 draw. So we just need to keep going the momentum, and it's about gaining confidence, believing in the way that we are playing. The players have to buy in. I can tell them whatever I want. I need to convince them. I have to get into their hearts, into their brains, into their blood, whatever, so that they make my idea of football to their own. This is what it's about, and well, I think the first step has been taken, and now it's about the next steps tomorrow, Saturday at Norwich, Tuesday at Brentford, and then the last one before Christmas at home against Brighton.
Well, last question for Alan Kuntz. Hi Alan, would you like to unmute?
Ja, Herr Rangnick, hallo. 2 Fragen. Was haben Sie für eine Beziehung zu Wagner? Und wie sehen Sie die Young Boys im aktuellen Formzustand?
Should I answer in English or in German? In German? Okay. Ja, David kenne ich natürlich schon lange. Wir haben damals in Hoffenheim, ich glaube es war 2009 oder 2010, habe ich ihn damals nach Hoffenheim geholt als unseren U23-Trainer, als Trainer der 2. Mannschaft. Dort haben wir auch, glaube ich, 1 oder 2 Jahre dann, wenn man so will, im gleichen Verein zusammengearbeitet. Und seitdem habe ich natürlich auch seine Entwicklung verfolgt, auch über Huddersfield, über Schalke. Und jetzt auch der Wechsel zu Young Boys. Im Moment, glaube ich, ist die Formkurve jetzt nicht gerade ganz weit oben. In der Tabelle sind sie, glaube ich, aktuell Vierter mit einigen Punkten Abstand schon auf die Spitze, auf den FC Zürich und auch auf Basel. Und insofern ist das im Moment zwar so, aber wie ich vorher schon gesagt habe, das Hinspiel haben sie gewonnen 3-2 gegen uns, und deswegen haben wir da auch noch was gut zu machen. Wir wollen das Spiel morgen gewinnen und wissen, dass wir dafür aber auch, egal wer da morgen jetzt auf unserer Seite auf dem Platz steht, dass wir dafür auch als Mannschaft wieder auf dem höchstmöglichen Niveau auch selber uns präsentieren müssen.